No one remembered rebuilding Channel 13. That was the first thing that made it wrong. Just 3 months after the old station was demolished, a brand new building appeared at the same address. It had the same footprint, the same height, the same crumbling concrete look, as if the city had simply forgotten to notice it rising from the ground. There were no permits, no construction crews, no public announcement. It was just there. The logo had changed, too. Where the old sign once read Channel 13, the new one flickered between strange symbols that cameras couldn't quite focus on. Anyone who tried to photograph it ended up with corrupted files or missing frames. The news called it a technical glitch. But former employees of the old station, they called it a warning. Then, at exactly midnight, televisions all across the city turned on by themselves. Not to every channel, just one. A test pattern filled the screen, humming softly, a pitch so low you felt it in your chest rather than heard it. Then the man appeared. He looked older than before, thinner. His smile seemed strained, like it was being held in place by invisible strings. "Good evening," he said. "Thank you for returning." Behind him, the studio was different. It was huge. Endless rows of chairs stretched back into the darkness, all facing the camera. And most of them were occupied. People sat silently, staring forward, their faces illuminated by the glow of screens that only they could see. Some of them blinked. Some didn't. "We've experienced some minor delays," the man continued, tapping a stack of cue cards on his desk. "Relocations are always disruptive." The camera then cut to the woman. She stood at the edge of the set, her familiar smile gone. "We appreciate your patience," she said. "Especially those of you who tried to leave." Her eyes shifted, looking straight through the lens, straight at you. "At home." And the city felt it immediately. Phones vibrated without notifications. Laptops woke from sleep. Smart screens lit up bedrooms, kitchens, even hospital rooms. This broadcast wasn't optional anymore. "It's time to address a misunderstanding," the man said, his voice firm. Channel 13 was never about prediction. The test pattern returned, then split into hundreds of live feeds. Homes, offices, streets, people watching themselves watch. "We don't show you what will happen," the woman's voice said quietly from the side. "We show you what's already been recorded." In the studio audience, a figure stood up. Then another. Then dozens more. They moved stiffly, like actors hitting marks they didn't remember rehearsing. The man's voice softened. "Every story needs witnesses," he said, "and every witness becomes part of the archive." The feeds began to sync up. Heartbeats across the city aligned. Breathing patterns matched. And people everywhere realized they couldn't look away. Not because they were frozen in fear, but because something deep inside them recognized the broadcast. Memories surfaced that weren't theirs. Moments they had never lived, sitting in that very studio, under those bright lights, waiting for a cue that never came. The woman stepped forward into the light. "Channel 13 does not end," she declared. "It accumulates." The studio lights flared, and for a split second, the camera showed the control room. Rows of monitors stretched on endlessly, each labeled with names, cities, dates, worlds. Some screens were dark. Some were just beginning to glow. The man looked tired now, almost regretful. "If you're watching this," he said, his voice barely a whisper, "you already belong to us." The broadcast cut to static. But the sound didn't stop. Even after the screens went black, the hum remained inside the walls, inside the wires, and inside the people. By morning, the new Channel 13 building was gone. So was the address. So were any records of the street ever existing. But at exactly midnight, somewhere else in the world, a television turned on by itself. A familiar voice spoke. "Good evening," it said. "You're watching Channel 13." And someone, somewhere, realized they had been waiting for this their entire life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy stories that get under your skin, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. We've got more coming. See you in the next one.